What weird things happen during sex that nobody warns you about? Long sex does not necessarily mean good sex. For one, the girl can get sore, especially if the guy is big. It can also get boring if it goes on too long. It's all about finding the sweet spot, timing wise. I think it's been knocked into the heads of too many guys that the ideal is lasting for hours. For some women, I'm sure they love that. Others, not so much. Thank you. Some people don't understand this, especially from some girls' points of views. For me, 5 minutes of good passionate sex are better than hour plus sex. Everyone laughs about only lasting a few seconds. So the natural reaction of young teenagers is to think they must last as long as possible. Teenagers and beyond. The jokes about duration really mess with guys' heads and set unfair expectations. How having sex like they do in P-movies is actually quite physically exhausting and doesn't feel very good. I think Ron Jeremy once said if it looks bad, it feels good. If it looks good, it feels bad. All those crazy positions aren't to enhance the pleasure. They are to get better camera angles. Also, sex can last too long and those marathon sessions aren't necessarily a good thing. I've had a few sessions that lasted multiple hours and it wasn't all that much fun for either of us towards the end. She dries up, we both get tired, etc etc. Finally, cuddling can be awkward because you'll be trying to figure out where to put that one arm without your partner cutting the circulation off. If she gets overstimulated and either starts to cry, faint, or laugh uncontrollably. Personal experience is when my girlfriend was grinding and she came and began laughing hysterically. Made me feel a little bad and uncomfortable, but she explained it to me. Unfortunately, I'm a laugher. Please try not to take it personally. We do try to contain it sometimes, but it's really hard. For me, it's almost like he's doing a fantastic job. Holy crap, thank you, laughter. You are not always gonna have sex with someone right out of the shower. Sometimes it's in the moment and it doesn't always smell, let's say, awesome. My partner won't have sex unless he's just come out of the shower within the last 2 hours. Unless he's been active. Then he'll shower anyway. My favorite thing is the way he smells after the shower, and now his body wash is a turn on. Hahaha. Yes, my partner uses soap and now when I smell soap I get a little weak in the knees. My girlfriend is from a rural area and she's not much of a girly girl. So her body wash perfume is basically just Walmart brand soap. So occasionally I'll be at work and I get a whiff of something that makes me feel all tingly inside. I look up and it's a 50-year-old obese woman or a teenage boy. Flopping and slapping noises as your bodies meet. When you both have squishy tummies and your belly buttons meet up just right so they make a fart noise. Maybe that's just me. I call that the interstellar docking sequence. I'm a woman with long hair and poor eyesight, so I always have to plait my hair back. Learned that early on. And if I want to see anything I have to have my contacts in. When people said you had to prepare for sex, this was not what I had in mind. BF and I both have miserable eyesight. I can't see more than 2 inches in front of my face without my glasses on. Same with him, sex is 65% trying to not scratch each other's glasses trying to make out. Queefs, curious pets, spontaneous genital malfunction, all genders, the dreaded taint smash, muscle cramps, falling out of rhythm, flesh farts, when two particularly well-fitting sweaty areas match up and there's a little air in between, and it escapes, real farts, short and accidental MMA matches, I've taken an elbow to the eye socket, and the sentence "I don't bend that way." That's all I can think of off the top of my head. Hip cramps. Basically when your legs are spread too wide for too long and your hip flexor becomes a traitor requiring your leg to be straight, or you'll be in too much pain for enjoyment. Even worse when it's both of your hip flexors cramping at the same time. When you're so close together that you're now basically stuck together with sweat and having to pull yourself apart after. If your significant other is lactating, the oxytocin from sex can cause milk to squirt on you. This thread better not awaken anything in me. Oh, well hello new fetish. When you spoon with a girl after sex and your dong shrinks and sticks to her back like a piece of chewed up bubble gum. Reapplying lube and then doing the old rodeo cowboy hand gesture because you can't find the towel. So you just kinda keep your hand elevated like you're afraid to ask Ms. Lang a question in 8th grade. Miss Lang, where's the towel? Some people are absolutely amazing. Sexy wonderful people, but you just don't enjoy sex with each other. Sometimes it's libido differences and sometimes it's just certain things don't do it for you. I dated someone who had a high sex drive like me, but she loved teasing. I don't mind it sparingly, but literally every time she deliberately stopped before I was finished as she got off on me being frustrated and wanting her more. Something like that just won't work out if you don't also enjoy that. But for her, normal sex didn't do it for her, so even though we had great chemistry we would never see eye to eye in the bedroom. When he keeps rubbing and thinks he has a clit, but it's not. So you try to reposition your body differently against his hand, or rub it yourself, attempt to guide him there, but he keeps rubbing your pubic bone raw anyway until you give up and just get on top. Your hand cramps up or your elbow starts hurting. You realize your cat likes to watch. This is the worst, especially as they're not only watching but curious. You're in the heat of the moment, feeling good, forgetting you even have a cat, and then you feel their little paws in places they should never be. Forget about the paws. Our cat bites our fingers. You are lucky. Mine's paws were found a lot farther south. When you are a foot taller than your SO and lining up is difficult. Sometimes, even if a woman is really turned on, she doesn't get wet. Sometimes, hypothetically, the girl could be on top riding and you could wind up for a playful slap on the A and accidentally slap yourself directly in the balls, causing great pain for one party and uproarious laughter for the other, pretty much derailing the whole thing. I wouldn't know anything about this, but it happened to a friend of mine. I'm waking up to ash and dust. I miss her and I slap my nuts. When you try out a new position and it really doesn't work, and you kind of just have to be like, yeah, next. Her legs might start vibrating at an alarming rate. I thought she was having a seizure and panicked, but don't be dumb like me. Apparently some girls do that when they're about to orgasm. Not always when they're about to come. This happens to me if it's just really good, even if I'm not close yet. Your mind wanders. Like, you'll be trying to enjoy what's going on and you'll know damn well that you have been wanting this to happen for a while, and you'll still have random one-off thoughts. It can take some self-discipline to stay in the moment, especially since not everything you're doing is necessarily what's best for you. Sometimes you lose your spatial awareness. Partner and I were having a grand ole time. I lost sense of the bed dimensions. King. We were all over the place. Then I fell off the bed, over elbows onto my head and farted upon impact. I was embarrassed. He got me an ice pack for the knot on my head. We've been married 17 years now, and still laugh about it. Be safe, kids. Just when she's getting close, my tongue cramps up, jaw, fingers, and the needing to breathe when she has both your nose and mouth in just the perfect spot. Some people can't do two physical things at once. So they might be able to kiss, but once having sex they're bashing teeth, sticking tongue out too far, rotating the head the wrong way. Just wrong. It's like they can't coordinate two types of bodily movement at once. Sheets come off, mattresses slide, blankets start to bunch up no matter how flat they lied, pillows nowhere near the two of you will get launched. Things on the headboard are gonna fall over, just watch. Sex will turn a bed that is perfectly made into one that just hosted a slumber party, with a big sweat spot down the middle. Your dong occasionally slips out, then it tries to find a different hole, aka the showstopper. Policemen will sometimes rudely interrupt you by knocking on the car window. This happened to my buddy once. Cop asked him what he thought he was doing and he just pointed at his girlfriend. Happened to me once and they were cool, said you two finish up and get out of here. Jokes on them. She never finished. The falling asleep afterwards thing. When you could go all night, but she thinks you're about to come, and says don't come yet, but just hearing that makes you come. The apology later is the weird part. Till my mouth dries up to the point when I swallow it sticks and I choke and have to stop and get a drink. I guess from heavy breathing, moaning and panting. Or getting so wound up from him I almost pass out. Blurry vision afterwards. The dude who kept shouting I love you outside your car and a dude kept answering back. What state do you live in? I live in Alaska, and I swear I lived through the exact same scenario. Some dude kept shouting to me from a black Ford Explorer, his vehicle from the passenger side, I love you. I kept yelling it back assuming the guy thought I was gonna cringe, but I refused.
Thank you for watching Susi Confession and askreddit video. Hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon. Thank you watching Susi Confession and askreddit video. Hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon.